Hey everybody, Stephen Rankin here with Whiskey University. This week we are doing Stellum Rye Black. A couple years ago, probably a year and a half ago, I really started getting into ryes. I started off with just the barely legal ryes, which is something that's 51%. So anytime you see a bottle that says straight rye, that does not mean it's 100% rye. That just means it's at least 51% rye, okay? Same thing with bourbon, it's gotta be 51% bourbon. A wheat has to be 51% wheat, stuff like that, right? MGP is a massive distilling company where a lot of brands are gonna get their sourcing from. So if you see a brand that's not super mainstream, like Wild Turkey, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, stuff like that, not all the time, but a lot of times they're gonna be doing what you call sourcing. So they're gonna be buying distillate or barrels from other companies. And MGP is a huge brand that people are buying from. So this is a MGP distillate. The Stellum brand specifically is the entry proof, or I'm sorry, the kind of the entry level label for barrel bourbon. So if you know what barrel is, they've won a lot of awards, know a lot of different things. So Stellum was the other side of barrel, where they wanted a consistent profile. Barrel, they're doing new batches every year, and they're kind of drastically different, even the same label sometimes, right? So anyways, 95.5 rye. Let's go to the specs for this a little bit. So Stellum Rye Black, this is 114 proof, it's cask strength. This is 5 years old. Like I said, it's an MGP 95.5, so 95% rye, 5% malted barley. It's about $100. On the color, I got an orange gold. On the viscosity, I got really thick. This thing was sticking to the glass. Really cool on that. The nose, and this is gonna be typical with your 95.5s. You're usually gonna get a lot of citrus. Now, the longer they age, the sweeter and more complex they get. But if you get like a really young 95.5, it's gonna be orange. And it's not a bad orange. It's like a spicy kind of dark chocolate orange. So I like to compare it to, I don't know if y'all know those chocolate oranges you get at Christmas. They're like slices, you kind of break them open. That's what I get on 95.5s typically. So this had that. So it started with that soft orange, kind of vanilla spice. Then there was some crisp white fruit, some black pepper in there. After a while, this thing turned into like buttercream frosting. So like a long draw on the nose after I sat with it for a little while, took a couple sips. That thick white buttercream frosting was coming through, and it was amazing. On the palate, it carried over from the beginning of the nose. So heavy orange spice, like heavy orange clove. I like ryes in the summertime. A lot of people say they like ryes for the wintertime because it has that really warm, spicy, kind of holiday spice type feeling and nose. So you think about like what your house smells like during Thanksgiving or Christmas. Mouthfeel, it was velvety on the tongue, slight tingle on the lips and the gums. The finish was pretty strong in the back of the throat and the top of the chest. Like I said, it's a cask strength, so you're gonna get a strong finish there. Overall, I really liked it. I gave it an 80. What I do want to recommend to you guys, so since this is a $100 bottle, this is really just a special version of this. So they're very similar, and if you're not looking closely, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference. So this is more green, and this is like green with black overtones. They're very easy to kind of mistaken, right? So this is only 50 bucks. All right, so try this one first, and if you like this one, then go for this. It's the same thing. What this is gonna do, they're gonna use either older or more specific barrels to blend into this already. Is this worth the extra 50? Maybe. It's definitely a great bottle. I gave it an 80, but I would give this one, probably a 75. So it just depends on what your budget is for that. But definitely go check these out. These are pretty much everywhere. Really great bottle, especially if you're trying to explore ryes and high ryes at that, right? So let us know what you think in the comments, and let us know what bottle you want us to do next. See you next time.